Hey, yo, everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review. Today we're going to be doing my comic load for the week, as well as news, updates, questions, answers, and everything that falls in between. This is the fourth week of the month, and boy, we're getting close to Halloween. Don't know what I'm doing for Halloween, although I did have a haunted tour around Boston last night, so I guess that counts as Halloweenish. Um, Mostly DC this month, not month. This week, of course, mostly it is DC because that's my primary stuff that I read, but it's all DC here. So I hope you're ready for a big fat DC orgy because it's about to happen. And we might as well start where we always start with just a little bit of Batman in our life with Batman Dark Knight issue number 24. Dark Knight 24 is the origin of Clayface in the New 52, plain, flat, and simple. There's very little, if any, Batman in this. We get to see how Basil Carl became Clayface, how he got the powers, how his life was a trial and tribulations and misunderstanding and turning to the dark side of the Force. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. There's been a lot of Clayfaces for those of you that don't know. Tons of Clayfaces. But Basil has always kind of been the most well known or most used in different forms of media. I believe it was Basil that was even used in the Batman animated series. I would have to look that up because I forget. It's been a while since I've seen the episode where Clayface was introduced. But anyways, that's besides the point. They do a pretty good job at telling Clayface's origin. They do change around exactly what makes him into Clayface, although it still is associated with him becoming an actor and being able to manipulate things. But they do change around a little bit of his origin. I do like the utilization of the Penguin in this, who does show up, and of course, being the Penguin has his hands or flippers and everything. Not flippers, wings. Anyways, bad. The only bad I can say is in this, Basil Carl gets the ability to manipulate his face and look however he wants as an actor. No one questions this. Hey, Basil, how are you able to look like Tina Turner on a whim? I mean, it seems a little weird. But besides that, this was a good origin and reintroduction to Clayface in the DCU, at least when it comes down to his origin. Uh, and it also keeps the pace of the current story for Dark Knight going, uh, because it again continues into Clayface possibly breaking out. Spoiler alert. Overall, I would say this is a 4.5 out of 5. Enjoyable. Pick it up. If you're a Batman fan, you're gonna like this, and it's a good jump on point for those of you that have not been reading the recent Dark Knight stuff. Catwoman issue number 24. It's time for the Joker's daughter. And why do I even care? Catwoman has kind of just been bad. Ever since Innocenti jumped on, the stories have been ridiculous. They haven't really made sense. And in addition to that, they've just been stupid. The dialogue has been weird, and the Joker's daughter is not really that impressive of a character. The basic gist of this is the Joker's daughter shows up, tries to cause some trouble with Catwoman. Catwoman's able to find Rat Tail, but later finds out that Dr. Phosphorus wants to blow up this city, but at the same time that the other people that live underneath Gotham want to blow up the city too. Everyone wants to blow up the city, even Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, that part I was lying about. But again, it's at the point of why do I even care? Is there any good about this? Yeah, Joker's daughter was not quite as offensive or uninteresting as the last few issues she was in. She's made two appearances in the Forever Evil Villain Month issue and then Catwoman 23. But that's not really that great of a good. She's still not interesting, although I'm curious to see what they're going to be doing with her. But I like the fact that she is a Catwoman character because at least we can keep a bad villain in a bad book. Bad everything else is just not fun. It's just not enjoyable. It's just I don't know what's happening. Oh, and a cat dies in this. It's so sad. Cats are my favorite animals. To see one die makes me sad. 2 out of 5. Bad. Talon issue number 12. Shit kind of gets real for Talon in this. If you haven't noticed, Batman is getting on top of Talon. This is more or less a origin for the Butcher. Kind of see, where he comes from, what's his motivation, how he got the term the Butcher. Well, at the same time, we get to see what's happening with Talon, his friends, his family, and most importantly, what's happening with him in the Batman. Um, Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. It's just awesome. The backstory for the Butcher of Gotham is great. What was his name? His full name. This is bad because it was Felix something. What's the last part? Harmon, there we go. Felix Harmon, who is the Talon that became the Butcher of Gotham. His backstory is really well done. I like that Talon's friends are still in danger and even have body parts missing. Batman was utilized to a good degree in this, there but not there too much, because you can't make it into Batman and Talon. It has to be Talon. He has to be the star. Bad, none. Enjoyable, 5 out of 5. Moving on from Batman to Justice League Dark, issue number 24, Forever Evil tie-in. So Constantine's alive and kicking. How is he alive and kicking? Well, we get an explanation in this. You can thank a ally of him, although this ally is a very unlikely ally that people wouldn't quite recognize as an ally. But Constantine does have a little help in escaping what happened in Trinity War. At the end, where the crime syndicate shows up and act like assholes and kicks everyone's ass. So he starts going on a journey to figure out what's going on, what's wrong with his life, and he's kind of being haunted by his former teammates who are possibly dead, but he thinks they're dead. And at the end of it, he meets up with what will be his temporary Justice League Dark. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good, art is spot on, writing is spot on, and at least they explain how Constantine was able to get out of the situation he was in. Bad, I felt it dragged a little too much, and I felt as though you could have got across what you wanted to get across in half the time. Especially in the beginning when he's getting attacked by all these mini versions of him. But besides that, it was a pretty decent issue. Justice League Dark is always solid. I'm going to give this a strong 3 out of 5. Moving on to Red Lanterns, issue number 24, Light Out, part 4. Guy Gardner is pretty much accepting his fate as a Red Lantern, and he is doing it masterfully. He is even screwing with Belize, and that is always good to see. And right when he says, I'm done with the Green Lantern Corps, guess who shows up? Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps. What will happen when Guy Gardner reunites with his old teammates? Will he be friends or will he be foes? Will he be foes? Will they be friends or will they be foes? Gotta use the right grammatical pronunciation there. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. Guy Gardner as a Red Lantern fits so well as a glove, and him being an absolute badass. I think the best part is when he just kind of verbally tears apart Bleeze. Bleeze, the master manipulator, tries to act all badass, and then she meets up with someone that just can absolutely destroy her when it comes down to dialogue and manipulation. Um, Nice fight scenes in this. Art is very good, and the ending is great. Red Lanterns has taken such a humongous step in the right direction. Such a humongous step. Where the only bad I could ever say in this is Atrocitus is kind of a joke right now. Because he's just not getting anything done. But that's fine, because the book is really turning out to be better and better with each step. 5 out of 5. Red Lantern is really fun this week. Really fun. And jump onto it when Guy Gardner becomes Red Lantern leader, because it's fun stuff. Red Lantern started off as one of the worst of the DCU. One of my guilty pleasures. Now I can honestly say it's that great of a book. Moving on to the next Green Lantern book of the month, or the week. I keep on saying month. Larfleeze, issue number 4. Larfleeze versus the Orange Lantern Corps. So Larfleeze's constructs were given life again by that mystical space stargazing deity, and he has to fight his Orange Lantern Corps. Who will come out on top, and what's the ultimate decision that will affect them all? Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good writing is spot on, dialogue is spot on, and there's a nice epic fight between the Orange Lanterns and Larfleeze himself. Bad is the sections with the Butler and the Deity are kind of boring and could have, I don't know, they're just kind of boring. Luckily, they're few and far in between. 4 out of 5. Larfleeze is a solid book. Really do enjoy it. Pick it up. Injustice Gods Among Us, issue number 10. So Superman's kind of pissed at Batman. What's new in this book? But more or less pissed because Hawk Girl wasn't Hawk Girl, but rather Martian Manhunter. And, well, Superman doesn't like being manipulated. So a couple things go down. Superman pulls a trigger in a way that you will never expect that ruins Batman. In addition to that, a superhero dies. Who is it? You're just going to have to read and see. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Um, get it. Injustice just has been such a great comic, and usually tying comics to games or movies tend to suck. They do. But Injustice, for the past 10 issues that I've read, have been solid. I like the slow descent into darkness for all the characters. I like the tight, so well done dialogue, and the tension, the ever so present tension, is always high. 5 out of 5. Teen Titans issue number 24. Yeah, the Titans are being thrown through time, and while this is happening, Raven's the only one can save them. But can you trust Raven? And do we get to learn the backstory for Bart Allen? Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. For a jumping through time story, I felt as though Teen Titans 24 actually did a good job. Didn't really confuse me too much. So that's good because usually jumping through time tends to be a bad thing to do, but in this they did a decent job. Uh, Two is I like the conclusion at the end, and we also get to see some continuity tie-ins, which was nice. Especially the reason why Bunker decided to go on that train and meet up with Red Robin, kind of revealed here. Bad is it's I even though everything was done well with the time travel stuff, it was a little bit boring, and I felt as though it lost its stride towards the end. Uh, Besides that, it's a decent issue. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5, but I don't think it deserves anything higher. I think the Titans need to just solidify their team. They need to get all the evil out of Raven because the evil's still in there. Superman issue number 24, War Conclusion. Boy, oh boy, have I been kind of giving Superman up and down ratings, and everything comes to head in this, and does it come to head so well? It is Hector Hammond, Queen Bee, Superman, Lois Lane, who has mega evolved to Lois Lane Y, and they all fight against the Psycho Pirate in an epic showdown in epic proportions. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. Everything ties in so nicely in here, and it leaves off on such a good note. The ending is very nicely done. I do like the fact that it's not just psychic attacks and stuff like that. There's actually a science behind these psychic attacks. There's actually certain attacks and certain special abilities that are used that Psycho Pirate calls out. He's like, oh, use a psychic force field or a mind bolt. Oh, that does this. He actually gets in descriptive about what's happening. And Psycho Pirate, boy, talk about a character that I just didn't give two fucks about before the New 52 and was a little hesitant on his redesign, is awesome. I want to see more Psycho Pirate, and I want to see more of him now. The art was good, the climactic ending was good, and Lois Lane in this was a hero. Bad, none. 5 out of 5. Great issue. You want to talk about another issue that's great? Let's talk about the Flash issue number 24. This is the conclusion to the Reverse Flash story. And basically, it's that Flash defeats the Reverse Flash, and it is kind of the send off issue for Francis Manifold and the Booch, Brian Buchetto. Buchelado. Why did I say Buchetto? The Booch. The Booch. Um, Although it's not really the Booch's send off because he's going to be in a few more issues, but it's basically that the end, the Flash versus the Reverse Flash, and the conclusion to Barry Allen and his journey. Good, bad, whether or not you should get it. This ties up everything that Francis and Brian have been doing on Flash so well. Great colors, great art, great dialogue, and great tension and emotion. Bad, the only bad I can say is I think Reverse Flash was defeated a little too quickly for a villain that has been considerably dangerous throughout the past 5 issues, I want to say. He was taken down within the first 5 pages, I would like to say. Besides that, Flash gets a 4.5 out of 5. Great issue and a great end to what is possibly my favorite run on The Flash. Aquaman issue number 24, second to last comic we're talking about this week. So we get the origin of the first king of Atlantis. And that is the majority of this issue. We get his origin, we get to see how it ties into previous Aquaman plot points, and we also get to see how Aquaman is related to the first king in a way. Good, bad, whether or not I should get it. Great plot expedition. We get a lot of dialogue and information on this king and where he comes from and why he's doing what he's doing, which is good. Art is good, dialogue is good, and you get a great sense and wonder. And I like how a lot of plot stuff is put together. Bad. It feels kind of like a clip show. I mean, it's filler. It fills in stuff for you, but not much is done with Aquaman and himself. He just kind of sits there. Literally, Aquaman just sits there. Besides that, I will also give this a 4.5 out of 5. It's still a really, really good issue. That is really fun. And finally, leaving it off is Justice League issue number 24. And if you notice the cover, it is very similar to Justice League issue number one's cover, only the reverse of the Crime Syndicate rather than Justice League. And basically, in this issue, we get the origin of Ultraman, what makes Ultraman who he is, and how he differs from Superman. And the origin for Ultraman is a little bit different in this than what his original origin is, but probably for the better. We also get to see him showing up at the Daily Planet and, well, basically seeing how that Daily Planet is different from the one that he's used to. And lastly, a epic throwdown of epic proportion. Good, really does handle the origin for Ultraman very nicely. Second good is it's a tie-in to Forever Evil, but it could just be the next chapter in Forever Evil. Very well handled tie-in. The art was good, really good. Ivan Reis is just knocking it out of the ballpark. And who shows up at the end to fight Ultraman? It was so cool. I took a picture of it. It was just so awesome, and I sent it to my friend in a text message. I'm like, "This is what's happening right now. You're missing out on it," and it was badass and awesome. Bad, none. 5 out of 5. This is a great issue. Great issue. As for my picks of the week, let me just keep them separated. Hey, don't you disrespect him? Oh, that's copyright infringement. Um, Number 3 goes to Justice League, issue number 24. Like I said, really solid issue. Does a good job at explaining the backstory for Ultraman. Had fun with it. And the ending was awesome. Number 2 is Injustice Gods Among Us, issue number 10. This has just been one of the strongest series outside the New 52 of DC Comics and has really continued the momentum of the Injustice game, which is still one of the best games that have come out in the past few years. A really great fighting game, and just fact is continuing the story so well. But for the first time ever, the number 1 spot goes to Red Lanterns issue number 24. Again, if you have not liked Red Lanterns in the past, I don't blame you. For me, it was a guilty pleasure. It wasn't really that good. However, however, this issue rocked my socks. Pick it up. It's that good. So, with that said, news updates, questions and answers. Oh, and we're also doing the Battle Royale, the weekly Andrewcutter Battle Royale, where I analyze 2 fictional individuals and I have them fight against each other. But we'll get into that in a moment. We're going to talk about some stuff I picked up. First and foremost is I did get Batman Arkham Origins. I have not played it yet. Actually, what's going to happen is after this, I'm going to pause the video. It's going to be no big deal to you guys because I'm just going to start it back up. But I'm going to pause the video because I'm having my Wii Pad charge up and then play, which is awesome. I'm really pumped about that. But my comic book store was having its biannual Fine. Yeah. It has it twice a year. 50% off sale. So I got some figures that I want to share with you guys. First and foremost is I will start with you. I got the Batman Shadow Tech Green Lantern figure. Why did I get this? Well, I did like the Batman show, and I did like when the Justice League showed up. Although not having Wonder Woman on there was a little annoying because it's Wonder Woman. But and I feel as though there's a lot less Hal Jordan figures out there than there are other ones. Or maybe there's more, but for some reason, like I look at my Green Lantern section here, and about half of it's Hal, and the rest is like half of it's different Green Lantern characters. I just want some more Hal figures, and I'm probably get the last sticker off. Doesn't matter because I'm going to be tearing this open. So I wanted to get this, and pretty cool figure. The only thing I don't like is you can't see it, but the ring is literally painted on. Talk about like half-assing it, people. Let's just reuse the mold of Batman and then just repaint something here and like you really couldn't mold a freaking new hand. But besides that, I really wanted to get the figure. Hopefully they have a Flash and Superman one because I want to get those also. Um, I got Marvel Legends Series 1 Captain America. Picked this up because Cap is my favorite Marvel character. I love Cap. And speaking of Cap, who saw the new trailer for Captain America Winter Soldier? Holy shit, that looks awesome. It looks great. See, with me, with Marvel films, they're either really good or they're really bad, in my opinion. It's very few in betweens. For example, Marvel films I like Spider Man 2, X Men 2, Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man 1, and X Men Origins Wolverine. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I loved it. I thought it was just a fun action film. Plain plain simple. Oh, and X Men First Class isn't bad, but bad films are like Elektra or Daredevil or the First Hulk or X Men 3 or Spider Man 3. Thor wasn't really that good. Even though Thor was one of my favorite Marvel characters and I tried to enjoy it, it really wasn't that good. Well, no, it was good. It just wasn't great. And then what else? Iron Man 2 and 3 were disappointments. I mean, the only thing good in that was Robert Downey Jr., and that's it. So Marvel films are either yeah or ugh. One of the two. Captain America, Winter Soldier is going to be yeah because it looks awesome. It does. Um, but moving on, I wanted to get a Captain America figure. I want to start a small Captain America collection because he is my favorite Marvel character. Uh, Still has like 20 DC characters ahead of him, but I do like Captain America. And I wanted to get a traditional classic Captain America figure, so I got the Series 1. I don't know if I'm going to pull this out of package or not, mainly because I don't know how expensive it is. Again, it was a 50% off sale. He had it at 40, got marked down to 20. I mean, can't go wrong with that. I know the Marvel Legends are pretty rare. I know Toad is pretty rare too, who is also from Series 1. I'm looking at it on the back of the package, but I've only two other Marvel figures, and I might as well show them. I have Wolverine from the Astonishing X-Men. He was cheap, so I decided to pick him up. He was loose. Although there's a few things, although I do like the figure on a whole, there's a few things that pisses me off about the figure too, especially his belt. It just looks so half-assed, and like you have to, like even now, I'm just having to adjust it to make sure it's lined up. And on, there we go. And then I also got loose She-Hulk, who is one of my favorite Marvel characters, and this is a pretty cool costume, which is pretty promiscuous too because she's wearing panties underneath. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to open up it again or not because I kind of want to keep it in package. And I'll get to that in a moment why I want to keep it in package. But I did get the Captain America figure. They also had the Ultimate one. I did collect a lot of Marvel Legends up to like Series 4 back in the day, and then I sold them all to my comic store because I don't know. I wasn't loving them. And I had the Ultimate Captain America Marvel Legend one, which I always had flipping off because you could do that with his little fingers. It looks cool, but I don't like Ultimate Captain America. I like regular Captain America. So I do know that they're coming out with the Marvel Now Captain America costume for Marvel Legends, which I will be picking that up because I do like that costume a lot. I also got Red Hood, DC Signatures. Again, the $20 figure turned into $10. Not many Jason Todd figures out there. I only have really one other than this, and that would be the Hush Jason Todd. So wanted to pick it up because it's Jason. And then I also got a few other things. One I got at my 50% off sale. One I got at Newbury Comics because it wasn't at my sale. Um, might as well talk about what I got at the sale. So I bought the Justice League 7-pack at the sale, and you're probably saying, Andrew, why are you buying the 7-pack? You already have all the Jim Lee Justice League figures. I'll tell you why. I have started to get into a habit of buying, for figures that I love, buying them in box and then buying two of them, keeping one in box and then pulling one out to display. So I wanted to get all the Jim Lee Justice League figures and at least have them in box in some which way, and might as well get all 7 of them here, because all these here are my favorite figures for their respective heroes, except for Wonder Woman, which I'll get into in a second why. My favorite Cyborg figure, my favorite Flash figure, my favorite Batman figure, my favorite Superman figure, my favorite Green Lantern, Hal Jordan figure, and my favorite Aquaman figure. I love these figures. These are some of my favorite figures of all time. Great molds, great representation of Jim Lee's stuff. The Wonder Woman figure, the head I do not like because I do not feel as though it is Jim Lee's stuff. So what I did is I bought another Trinity War 3-pack, which has the original head that they were going to do for Wonder Woman. So I bought this, and this Wonder Woman figure is my favorite Wonder Woman figure. You could probably see the head a little bit better on there. So it's a much better head. The hair is better. Although I'm very tempted to get this 7-pack when it comes out. 2 of them. Mainly for 2 reasons. One is the Catwoman figure, who looks like a really good Catwoman figure, and the modern day Aquaman. And when I mean modern day, I mean not Justice League Origins. So I got those things. I do have one more day of the sale. I don't know if I'll pick up anything else. I'm gonna pop down there maybe just to say hi, but we'll see. I mean, I got what I wanted, and I'm happy. On to the Andrewcutter Battle Royale of the week. Now, for those of you that don't know what this is, that's fine. I just started last week. Is every week I'm going to take 2 fictional characters and I'm going to pit them together in a fight in a battle royale. No, it's not like Death Battle. Okay, kind of is. No, it's not like the comic battles. Kind of is. The reason why I do this is because I have a lot of people even message me and stuff, ask me who would win in a fight. It just happens a lot, and I love breaking down and then analyzing who would win in fights. So what I am going to do for now on every week is to take a battle between 2 people and pit them in against a fight and give you the percentage on who I would win. So I don't say clear cut winner. So if I did like Hamlet versus The Great Gatsby, I would say I would give about it 75% to the Hamlet because he's a better sword fighter, and then 25% to Great Gatsby. Something like that. Last week we did um, Lady Shiva versus the Shredder, which I gave 60% of win percentage to the Shredder and 40% to Lady Shiva. This week we are going to be doing, speaking of him, Captain America, the first Avenger, versus Tommy Oliver, the Green Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Yeah, kind of a weird mix-up. Anyways, and if you ever want to see who I'm going to have do the Battle Royale early, you can follow me on Twitter, which is down there. I post stuff a lot on Twitter now, including during midweek who's going to fight who in the battle. You guys have a choice to choose who is going to fight who by throwing down suggestions. If you want me to detail analysis of who's going to fight and who's going to win in a certain fight, just post it down there. So, Green Ranger versus Captain America. Let's start off by announcing the combatants. Captain America, the super soldier from World War II. Captain America's main stick to him is he is the perfection of what a human can be. Super speed, super strength, increased durability, healing factor. He doesn't age, which has just been revealed in one of the most recent issues. incredible dexterity and hand-to-hand or hand-eye coordination. He can literally take his shield and throw it against like five walls like Xena and hit someone in the back of the head. And he is skilled and proficient with many forms of combat. Many forms. And in addition to that, Captain America has a sharp mind and he is, well, incredibly battle experienced. He has been through wars, quite literally wars, before he even became an Avenger. Now, when I mean super speed, strength, durability, I don't mean Hulk level strength or Flash level speed, but definitely higher than that of a normal human. If he had an arm wrestling contest with Batman, who is considered the pinnacle of human fitness without being a superhero, he would still beat him. He can lift a car if he needed to and throw it out of the way. So, that is Captain America. Tommy, the Green Ranger. Tommy is an incredible hand-to-hand combatant, being skilled in martial arts. I don't know what exactly was Tommy's style back in the day. I do know that Jason did a mixture of a few things. They actually went into what Jason did for fighting styles. I don't know if they went over what Tommy did. Just pretend Tommy did the same style as Jason did for Frank. How about that? But Tommy is a skilled martial artist and hand-to-hand combatant. Even without the Ranger powers, he can hold himself against most enemies, being able to take on a full platoon of putties alone. And putties are not easy to fight. Well, not until they have a big giant Z on their chest. He was even able to hold his own against Goldar on Morph. Morph Tommy is an incredibly powerful fighter. As with all Rangers, he has an increase to speed, strength, and durability, and his dexterity and hand-eye coordination, similar to Captain America, but maybe more to the point. What really makes Tommy dangerous is his weapons, the Dragon Flute and the Dragon Shield. The Dragon Flute is a razor-sharp dagger that it can basically cut through anything when necessary. And when playing the flute, he can shoot energy projectiles and activate his Dragon Shield. What does the Dragon Shield do? The Dragon Shield not only increases his defense, but also reflects any energy projectiles back at the person that threw him. So going do 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 do, and you shot an optic blast at him, it would reflect back at you. It's just the magic of the coins. Now we're gonna just do baseline Tommy as Green Lantern, Green Ranger. Good. We're not gonna include the Sword of Darkness nor the Dragon Sword because that would be a ridiculous fight. Dragon Sword versus Captain America. Hmm. So who do I think would win in a fight? I was racking my brain the whole week thinking who would win in a fight. And it's a close fight. A very, very close fight. Um, but I'm going to have to give it at a 55% margin to Captain America. A few reasons why I would give it to Captain America. Although I think technically Tommy's considered stronger and faster with his Ranger powers on, there's two things that give Captain America an edge. One is Captain America is more skilled and battle worn than Tommy is, at least at the Green Ranger stage. Captain America has seen shit. He has been through wars. He has fought ridiculous odds. And while Tommy fights a monster every week and goes up against the most evil of evil, as the Green Ranger, he wasn't quite as battle worn as Captain America. I think Captain America would be able to outsmart Tommy. Tommy was never really a strategist. He was never the strategist of the group. The strategist of the group was really Billy and Jason too, those two. Tommy was really just there as a fighter. So I think skill and experience from Captain America gives him a huge edge. Second thing is Captain America has nothing that Tommy can really defend against, or that anything that Tommy's power would necessarily be useful against. For example, the shield is not an energy projectile, so I don't think the dragon shield that he wears would reflect the vibranium shield back at Captain America. And even if it did, Captain would just catch it and throw it again. Uh, so that defense for the Green Ranger would be useless. Number two is that any projectile that Green Ranger would do, like his Dragon Flute electric attack or shooting a shadow orb, the vibranium shield would be able to withstand and basically null and void it. So at a 55% margin, really damn close, I would give it to Captain America. Who do you want to see as my next Andrewcutter Battle Royale? My analysis and breakdown of who I think should win. And do you agree with who I thought should win this week? Do you think Captain America really could take down the Green Ranger Tommy? Or do you think the most legendary Power Ranger of all, or well-known Power Ranger of all in the TV show, would be able to take down Captain America? Jason's better. Just saying. Uh, please put down your comments. Let me know. I like to hear other people's opinions. So let me know what you think. I'm going to pause the video here because I'm going to go play some Batman Origins, and then I'll come back and do the questions and answers. So for you, it's less than a millisecond of a delay. For me, it's going to be a couple hours. Okay? I shall return. I'm back. See? It's a little darker out. Time has passed. I played a lot of Batman Origins. I just defeated Slade, Deathstroke, the Terminator, so I'm right about at that point. Really good game. I don't see what people were worried about. It's very similar to Arkham City, to the point that I think there's actually parts from the Arkham City map that have been cut, copy, paste onto Arkham Origins. But talk about that more when I'm done with the game. Um, let's move on to questions and answers. And for those of you that are new to my channel, basically what happens is any questions or comments you put down on my comic load videos, I then respond to the next week. Plain, flat, and simple. So, first is Mr. Deadpool fan. You're late, Andrew. This was uploaded the 21st in the UK. It's like time travel. Yes, it is. Akuna Makoto Z. Who would you like to see take over Flash? That's a tough one. You know what? Let's give Gal Simone a smack at it. That would actually be pretty fun. Because right now she's only doing Batgirl that I know of. That and well, I mean Red Sonja. Um, and I would like to see her take on the interpersonal relationships that Flash has. If not that, who else would be good on Flash? I mean, there could be a ton of people good on Flash. James Robinson would be fun on Flash too. I'm interested to see how he would do. Billy Bob, Billy Bob. Hey Andrew, do you think we'll ever get Hal Jordan back as a Justice League member? He was only present for the origin story in the first present day mission with David Graves. Then was completely absent for the Atlantis storyline to now. I know he's a busy off planet, but would you think if if you excuse me but would you think if they would, the world was in complete hell and supervillains were taking over, Hal, Guy, and John, at least one of them, would swoop in and stop these villains? I mean, they are Earth's defenders. I, to answer your first question, I think we will eventually get Hal back on the Justice League. I don't know why he's not on there now. I think it's just because if Hal was on the Justice League, it might take a little too much focus off of Simon Baz, and they're trying to develop Simon Baz. And if Hal was in the storyline and Simon Baz was in the storyline, one would overshadow the other. And heaven forbid Jeff Johns has Hal Jordan overshadowed, or his pet project Simon Baz overshadowed. I don't know what the full reason is why Hal isn't back yet. I can understand why he left because they were doing the Wrath of the First Lantern, and War of the Green Lanterns technically happened right after he left, lost his ring, blah blah blah. But I think Hal should be back on the Justice League. He is a founding member. That's where he belongs, and he needs to have some connection to being on Earth. As for why the Green Lanterns haven't gone to beat the shit out of the supervillains running, well, that's because they don't know what's happening. They are off planet. Owen just got destroyed, and Relic is trying to destroy all the cores. I think they have their own problems they have to deal with. And if I was Hal, I'd probably say, okay, I'll deal with my shit. Superman, you are the world's mightiest superhero. Batman, you are the smartest superhero. Flash, fast and the speed of light, so on and so forth. I think you guys have this covered. I'll be fine. So I think that's the reason why they haven't swooped in and saved the day, is because they have their hands full and they probably don't know this shit's going on. Felipe19991. Hey Andrew, what do you think is going to happen to Starling in the future? And is it a good thing to continue Team 7's development on Bird of Prey? I don't know what's going to happen to Starling. I kind of hope that she goes back to the team. I don't know how that would happen. That's my wishful thinking. I think what will happen is Starling's going to be Suicide Squad material. But hey, I could be wrong. But personally, I would like to see her back on the Birds of Prey because I liked her there. As for Team 7 development on Birds of Prey, I don't think it's a bad idea. It doesn't hinder the stories at all, and if it adds to the DC mythology and mythos, why not? It's not something I'm like gonna go, yeah, Team 7 development. But it's not something I'm gonna hate on it. If it works, it works. Hey Andrew, I was wondering. Oh God, I have like a little cut on my eye. Okay. Hey Andrew, I was wondering if you're gonna do a video about your favorite episodes and seasons of Power Rangers. Never given it much thought, but hey, maybe I will. I need to rewatch Mighty Morphin. I rewatched it like a couple years ago, all the way through. I'm gonna do it again. I'm just gonna get them on DVD when that happens. Nick Lenz. Hey Andrew, two questions for you. First, besides the all-new Evaders, did you know James Robinson's doing the Fantastic Four? Second, are you still picking up FF? Two other things. First, the Invaders are Marvel's versions of the JSA, and the founding members are Captain America, Namor, the Submariner, the Human Torch, the android version, Captain America's sidekick Bucky, and the Torch's sidekick Toro. Um, so, did I know he first? Besides the all new Avengers, okay, I did not know James Robinson was doing the Fantastic Four. Am I still picking up FF? No. I know a lot of people love what's happening in FF, but I just it wasn't doing anything for me. As for did I know Invaders were the version of the JSA? I think at one point I did, but it wasn't really important to me. Um, did I know that? I think I did know that. But it's kind of a cool team. It is like the JSA. It's kind of funny that James Robinson is going to be writing it because he basically just did the new version of the JSA on Earth 2. Nick Lenz. Second, the invaders came together to save Winston Churchill from being killed by Nazi sympathizers called Masterman. Ex Valis. Andrew, a few questions. Give us your top 5 Power Ranger uniforms. I thought I did that last week. Also, what's your impressions or thoughts on the Wii U? And lastly, why the heck did you not have strippers at your bachelor party? Wii U. Let's address that first. So far, I have been loving the Wii U. Absolutely. Seeing that we're getting more and more games on there, I'm overjoyed, and we're going to be getting more and more games. Right now, I'm currently playing Batman Arkham Origins. We have Zelda HD. Just Dance, surprisingly, is very fun on there. Not to mention the slew of Wii U games I had beforehand that was playing just a couple months ago. Even like Pikmin 3 and Luigi U that just recently came out have been great. And then we still have Sonic Lost World, which I've heard mixed things about, but I'm interested in. And we also have Super Mario World that is coming out. So I'm interested in that, or Super Mario World 3D, new Super Mario World, yeah. So there's been a slew and plethora of games that have kept me interested. The hardware is very nice. I really have grown attached to the gamepad. Still like the Wii remote a little bit better, but the gamepad definitely has its ups to it. I can't think of anything really bad about it. Maybe see, this is a small thing with me is I like to back up my memory on memory cards, and I don't think the Wii U allows you to do that. I haven't tried it yet. With the Wii, most of the games you could, except for the ones that went online, like uh, Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles or Super Smash Bros. Brawl. But most of them you could copy and put on a game card, an SD card. I don't think you can do that with the Wii U, but however, um, I could be wrong. As for why did I not have, or why the heck did I not have strippers at my bachelor party? I call me old fashioned, but I wouldn't feel right going to a place where there's a bunch of naked women, and most of the time they're rubbing their tits in your face. To me, that just to me personally, I wouldn't feel right being in a committed relationship with a woman that I'm going to marry and have other women flipping their tits in my face. The best analogy I can say is would you feel okay with your girlfriend having a cock being slapped in their face? I mean, that's just me. I have no problem with anyone else that goes to strip joints. Hell, half my friends go to strip joints all the time. It's just personal philosophy, I guess. But hey, whatever rocks your boat or floats your boat. There you go. I'm really not off. I think it's because I've been playing so much Batman. Joshua Hayes has a couple questions. My questions for this week. One, do you think the DC universe will ever reset back to the previous one, the non 52? Two, also, do you prefer the new 52 continuity to the previous one? And three, what are your favorite Joker stories of all time? Wasn't this asked last week? Am I rereading the ones from last week? No, I don't. No. I could have swore this. One, no, I'll answer it anyways. One, no, they won't go back to the previous New 52 at all. They're making too much money off this. The costumes and the characters are where they want them to be. The stories are where they want to be. And in addition to that, they have so much open space for stories that they can do. In addition to that, these are just growing pains. People that are upset about the new 52 are upset because they lost their previous universe, but so many people are upset about the Crisis on Infinite Earths and changes with that, and then Zero Hour, and then Infinite Crisis. People just don't like change, but it will never go back. No. Will it get rebooted again 20 years from now? Yeah, possibly. I would not hold it against DC for doing that. But will it go back to Batman wearing his underwear on the outside? No, I don't think so, especially after how much of a huge success the New 52 has been. Also, do I prefer the New 52 continuity to the previous one? Again, I think I answered this. There's aspects from the older continuity I do like more than the newer one. But I do like how more clean this continuity is. I think the only things I'm really missing are the new Teen Titans stories, um, and Donna Troy. Really those stuff. But there's certain aspects here and there that I do miss. Oh, and Superman being married. I guess that's some stuff I do miss. What are my three favorite Joker stories of all time? Death of the Family, that just was recent. The more I read, the more I grow to love it. So I do like that. Um, I mean, everyone says Killing Joke. I feel like that's a cop out for saying that. But what the hell, Killing Joke. Favorite? What's another favorite Joker story? Man Who Laughs was pretty good too. I like a lot of the Silver Age Joker stories. I don't think there's one. I don't think there's necessarily big particular Joker stories that I do like. I, you know what else? Under the Hood is as much of a Joker story as a Jason Todd and a Batman story. So I do like that. But I think my favorite is actually Scott Snyder's take on Joker. Not because I love Scott Snyder so much. I think it's just such an intellectually deep story of Joker where it doesn't have to have something epic and momentous happen. It's the internal stuff that makes it so good, and that's what the Joker is. Um, I was hoping the new 52 Endeavor would refine the characters from the fat. Improving Two-Face revisions felt like they were just for the sake of change, but whatever. It wasn't necessarily horrible. I mean, to be seen in the final four chapters. Carrie's introduction to the story piques my interest, though I still am steadfast that Harper Row would make a great Robin, but Carrie is more recognizable, marketable, and Harper is more of an Oracle-esque character. I can't really comment on your opinions on Two Faces revisions. Personally, it doesn't bother me. I don't think it's for the sake of being changed. I think again, it's changing for the sake of continuity. Uh, it's kind of, I don't know how long Halloween is going to fit into the new 52 with Batman only being around for 6 years and somehow having a 10-year-old son, but that's definitely something that's going to be freaking interesting. But if Batman's been around for only 6 or 7 years, I mean that's a year-long story that takes up a year of Batman's life. So maybe changing it up with Two Face's origin isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing either. It doesn't offend me. For the I personally would like to see how the story would end before I make my judgments, which it seems like you would agree. As for Carrie and Um, Harper Row, you know what? I thought, would it be cool if there was two Robins and both of them were girls? The Robins. Why not? Have Carrie and Harper Row be Robins. Would be interesting. Final question from Joshua Hayes. Did you hear the murmurings of Nightwing is going to be killed? Thoughts? Apparently, Dan DiDio, whose decisions I loathe, has been gunning for Grayson for some time. So, yeah, they've been trying to kill Grayson since Infinite Crisis. He was supposed to die, but last minute decisions, people realized it was a bad idea. Yeah, Dan DiDio doesn't like Dick Grayson. But Dick Grayson sells, so I'm pretty sure they won't be getting rid of Dick Grayson. And the freaking uproar from fans is just going to be ridiculous. I'm pretty sure they're not going to kill Dick Grayson off anytime soon. I'm interested to see what will happen in Forever Evil. Maybe that's when they could kill him. I don't know, but I don't think they'll kill off Dick Grayson. He has a very good, very well selling comic. That's money down the drain if you kill him. Blue Lantern 2814. It wasn't clear on how Stargirl was able to exit the prison, basically. Whatever it is that she was in. I don't know. I think she found a hole or a little glitch that she slid through. That's how I interpreted it. Fallout 3 Freak 1. Hey, Andrew, which cyborg Superman do you prefer? New 52, Hank Shaw, or New 52 or Hank Shaw? It's tough. I think for the sake of being a villain, Hank Henshaw, because it's kind of hard to think of Supergirl's father as a bad guy, despite the fact he's being forced to do it. But story-wise, I mean, Hank was never that interesting. But having her father be Cyborg Superman is interesting. It's just funny he's called Cyborg Superman. Anyways, Fallout 3 Freak, I'd like to answer your question about the Butcher from Green Lantern 24. The Butcher is not an atrocious. I know. When I was reading Red Lantern, I'm like, oh, fuck! I should have remembered that. But thank you for posting that. Fario38, hey Andrew, what's good? I follow you on Twitter. My name is Brendan Fario. I hope I pronounced that right. But anyhow, I got the new trade paperback of Wonder Woman Volume 3, and I'm really considering canceling it, but I haven't made up my mind. I mean, I love Catwoman, but the writing is so awful. Also, I got to meet Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo at Barnes & Noble at Union Square in New York and got my Joker Death of the Family autographed by them, and they were really nice guys. Congrats on your art. Thank you very much for the congratulations. Yeah, Scott Snyder, when I met him, was the nicest guy I ever met. Him and Frank Whiteley are the two nicest guys I've ever met at comics. But Scott Snyder was super nice. I haven't met Greg Capullo yet. He is on my list. Hopefully it'll happen someday. As for Catwoman, yeah, cancel it. Catwoman's just not been good. Watch my reviews. Once I start saying it's good, then pick it up again. But it's just not been good. Yeah, you save your money for when it gets better. The Dork Knight. Hey Andrew, Jeff Johns said on Twitter that that after Forever Evil will be a new project. What do you think this new project will be? My predictions is a Shazam title. Interesting. I have no idea what the new project would be. Maybe he does an Earth 3 comic. To be honest, I don't know. I think Shazam's too easy an answer. I think Shazam's comfortable as a backup. But hey, who knows? Maybe it happens as a full-blown title. The question is can Shazam sell? I mean, he's an interesting character with interesting villains and interesting stories, but can he sell? To be honest, I don't know what his next project would be because he's not on Green Lantern anymore. He's not on Aquaman anymore. He's getting off that. The only thing he's going to be on is the Justice League. That's it. I'm not really sure. Good question, Dork Knight. Omar13Z, do you feel Booster Gold isn't getting the recognition and appreciation he deserves? He went from being a self-centered glory seeker to save the DC Universe tie stream. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think he's getting enough care in the New 52. I would agree with that. I think right now there's no place for him, but I would agree with you that, I mean, since they canceled Justice League International, um, he has no place to go. And they're not going to do another Booster Gold comic because his comic was tanking. So I don't know where they would put him, but I would like to see him. Chris Suave, the last question. Hey Andrew, two things. One, did you hear about the DC collectible Grey Capullo series? Yeah, I did, and I'm gonna be buying them. Two, the Nightwing story. What Nightwing stories do you recommend? His solo stuff is hard to find, and I started reading The Outsiders with him in it. What do you think? I would recommend getting the Chuck Dixon stuff, which I believe starts in with A Night in Bloodhaven. Oh, that's not good that I don't remember that. Hold on. Let me pull up my site. Mm, Boom. And I can give you a general idea of what you should get. I mean, here's a good list of Nightwing comics to get. Nightwing Year One, Nightwing: A Night in Bloodhaven, which is the start of Chuck Dixon's run. A Rough Justice, 11 Bullets, The Darker Side of Justice, Hunt from Oracle, Big Guns, and On the Razor's Edge. Those are a good chunk of what you should get, and it's a great series. Chuck Dixon masterfully wove Nightwing so very well. After that, the New 52 stuff with Kyle Higgins has been solid. You can't really go wrong with that. You can't go wrong at all. But those are definitely places to start. Um, so yeah, that's the questions for this week. Kind of a light week on questions, which is fine. If you have a question, just post it down below. I will answer it 150% to the best of my ability. In addition to that, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I hate it when people do that. Follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the Twitter link's down below. I just shoot tweets during work. I'll be finishing up my stuff and I'll just be like, yeah, Spider-Man, something. I don't know. I'll tweet something. So my Twitter stuff's down there. If you want to post in a vote for who you want to see in my Andrewcutter Battle Royale, who I would believe would win in a fight, go ahead, post that down below. In addition, my Facebook is down below. That's my personal Facebook. So if you want to go on Facebook and friend up with me, go right ahead, you naughty boy. Um, but yeah, that's about it. I have come to the decision that I will be opening Captain America. I'm sorry. He's coming out of the package. I'm going to end the review here. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.